Steelhead are migratory rainbow trout that run many of the Great Lakes tributaries. Some make this run in the fall to feed on insect larvae. Others may only make this run in the spring to spawn. It doesn't matter if it's spring or fall, when the water conditions are right, you'll find steelhead. They are uncontrollable, unpredictable, and arguably one of the hardest fighting freshwater fish you'll ever hook into. Today, we're going to take you along and fish these steelies with hard tackle. You'll notice right away, Jason likes to fish the fast water. We'll take a moment and explain the flatfish and where to use it. Join us as we chase steelhead in the fall, but for the most part, I'll probably be chasing Jason down the river as these steelhead will be kicking his butt. Stay with us. Jighead starts now.
I think it's a lake trout, dude.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's a lake trout. Oh, jeez. Oh, got him. Did you see that? Oh, yes, dude. Look at the size of that. Yeah. The thing is huge. You see that? That thing came up just big old mouth, chomped right on. Holy buckets, dude! Look at that head shake. This is a nice fish. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this fish! It's so big! Look at that! Oh my goodness! Yeah, right, man. It's a big. Holy buckets, dude! That is a hog. That is a lake trout right there. Dude, it's huge. I know. Holy crap. Look at that, Jason. This is awesome. Fish, 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 fish. Yeah. I wish I Dude, get down on him. Holy man. That one's holy cow. Holy cow. He's bigger than yours! He swung and he missed and he hit it again! Scoop him! Scoop him! Dude, you had him! Scoop it up! You had him! You want an extreme Yeah!
When we come back, we'll follow Jason down the river as he looks for the perfect fast water run. He's pretty confident the steelhead will be holding there, but will they snap at the chance to strike at the flatfish? Stick around and see what happens with his first hookup. We'll see you on the river. Welcome back to Jigheads. It's fall, the hardest time of year to decide what to do. It's not that there's a lack of things to do. Why, it's just the opposite. There's too many things to do and just not enough time to do them all. It would be a great day to go grouse hunting, maybe even go on another goose hunt. We had a great time the other day and really wanted to go back for some more. But late last night, we decided we needed to try our luck with the steelhead. We just had a fresh rain and that's Jason's favorite time to run the fast water with a flatfish. The water conditions were perfect and I knew right away Jason was gonna hook up fast.
Fish, big fish! Check out this steelhead! Ah! This is a nice fish. This is the third drift and we've got a steelhead on. It's got to be 26, 27 inches. It is a beaut. That son of a gun burnt my finger. It took off like a freight train. My heart is just pounding. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Woo. This thing's got some spunk. Look at him, look at him, look at him, tail walk. That is awesome. That's fall steelhead at its finest right there, folks. I think what I'm going to do, since his fish is in the fast current, I can't do much with the rod I have. I mean, he's just laying there. I'm going to try to go downriver, let the current swing him towards the bank, grab the net, and try to get him in there. This is awesome. Fall steelhead, you can't beat it. This is a nice looking hen here. And what I mean by hen is it's a female steelhead, and I can tell that by the nose. the males or the bucks would have a little hook here. It's got a nice red band. Even though these are big fish, they are still fragile, and you want to wet your hands like any trout before you handle them. You can tell she's tired out. She's been fighting not only me, but the current as well. That is a beautiful steelhead there. You can't beat it. Look at that fish. I just love them black spots. Like I said, we're fishing the fall here. She might stay in the river over the winter, or she might go back out in the lake. Either way, she'll be back this spring to lay her eggs and to carry on the steelhead tradition. So let's get her back in the water. There she goes. Nothing gets me fired up like a steelhead slamming into a flatfish. It looks like we got a couple of broken hooks here, so that was awesome. You can't beat the fall steelhead. They are absolutely incredible.
What do you got?
We just hooked up with a steelhead. It is about 75 yards down in this fast current here. We're gonna have to go down. There's no way that fish is gonna come back up, and there's no way I'm gonna pull him back up.
That was quick.
That was
really
quick. That was that one or two drifts?
One.
One drift, first drift, and it hit Old Faithful.
Let's go chase him.
A little tricky here around these rocks. Thing's peeling some serious line. He's got to be 100 yards downriver. You should have seen the run this thing just made. I think it just peeled 50 yards of line in about 2 seconds. I don't know if we're gonna get this thing. It's rocky here. It's tough to maneuver. As you can see, we're in some really fast water here. There's no way we're going to be able to land that fish. There's just too much current. There's a pocket down here about 30 yards. It's kind of held up in, so I'm going to go down there. We're going to pull her into shore. We should be able to take a look at her there. This is awesome. Was an amazing battle. I was just telling Jeremy how I wanted to catch a steelhead in this stretch of the river just because it's so pretty. Check out that fish. That is just beautiful. This is a beautiful fish here. We're not going to play around with her too long. We got to get her back in the water so she can spawn and produce some more steelhead. You gotta love it. This is awesome. I'm telling you, the flatfish, it's unstoppable. Jeremy likes some spinners, but I don't know. The little heat seekers on the bottom of that thing, it drives them nuts. We got to get back in the water because there's steelhead everywhere. And we're the guys to catch them.
When we come back, Jason takes us back out on the rock and tries for one more fish. 5 drifts later and he's hooked up again. Come back and see this fish take Jason for another ride. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back to Jigheads. It's fall, and we're out fishing steelhead. Jason's running the flatfish in the fast water, and I can barely keep up with him. I know I said he'd explain the flatfish to you, but the fishing's been so good, he really hasn't had that chance yet. Believe me, we'll get to it, but right now, it looks like Jason's got another fish.
We stopped at this rock. We've made about 5 drifts. We're running it. I mean, we're just cruising up this river, hitting potholes. We have another one on. This is a nice fish. I'm telling you, I'm just shaking. This is crazy. These fish are holding in this high water, in this fast water, because the water's high. This fish is going upriver. It's got some beef to it. Usually they just scream down, and I seen it come out of behind a rock. It just turned, hit that flatfish. It hasn't hit the water, hit the surface of the water since. I've never had a steelhead run upriver on me before. I don't know where I'm going to land this fish. I'm stuck on a rock in the middle of some fast water, and this thing's just going. Now it's going downriver, and that water's quick. There's no way it's going to stop in the middle of that. Jeepers creepers, this is awesome. I think we're going to be going downriver again. Yep. We've got about 100 yards of line out, and she's still going. Got a little eddy here. We're going to try to pull her in behind this rock. Man, that was a tough fight. I'm pooped. I'm out of breath. My forearms are just burning. This is a clean fish here. This is a beaut. Look at this fish. This is awesome.
Flatfish does it again.
The flatfish strikes again. I had to chase her. I couldn't lose this flatfish. This thing has produced so many steelhead for me. That is amazing. Hey, this one's got the adipose clipped. This is a plant fish here. This shows you exactly what the stocking does for a river. Well, so far this has been an incredible day. 2 steelhead in 2 runs here in a matter of 500 feet, something like that. We've just been cruising up the river, hitting the shallow pockets. We better let her go. She earned the right to swim another day. And there she goes. It was so awesome. I saw this tiny little pocket, and that's what I love about the fall, is these fish hold everywhere, you know. They're up here, they're feeding, they're not in the spawning mode. And there was a little bit of slack water around this rock, and I was like, you know, I think there could be a fish there. I'm gonna pop that flatfish in there. And it was about the 3rd drift, and it's awesome with the flatfish. It floats, so you can work it wherever you want it to go. So I popped it in there alongside the rock, let her drift down, pulled her tight, and she started to dig. I was like, all right, this feels really good. And all of a sudden you see that flash, and it happens every time. You see that flash come out, and it just drills it, and game on. I'm telling you, there's no other feeling like it. It's like instant adrenaline. We got to get back in the river. We got to do that again.
When we come back, Jason will finally take a little break from the steelhead and explain the flatfish. We'll see you on the bank. Welcome back to Jigheads. Well, it's finally time to take that break from fishing and have Jason explain the flatfish. Let's hear what he has to say.
Let's talk a little bit about the flatfish. Basically what it is, it's a flat lure. It's made to dive down when you put pressure against it. We've got a little run here. The water drops into this hole. The fish are going to be holding this hole, so we're going to cast across, pull the line tight, and let that flatfish work across in front of us. There's boulders out there. You want to look for structure. Those fish have a tendency to hold behind structure anywhere they can get out of the current. Let's give her a shot. Let's see if there's any steelhead around.
What's going on?
My reel is all tangled up. We got a big steelhead. There we go, there we go. It got caught underneath my spool. I don't know what the heck. I can't reel, I can't I got a fish on.
Man, he took off screaming.
Oh, he hammered her. If I land him, it'll be a miracle, but you see him just jump?
No!
He just jumped again. Dude, I might have to just play him on the line I have.
Play him on the line. Just don't get it wrapped up in your fingers. You got a cluster?
We got a cluster. I'm wondering if when I retied, I didn't, you know, if it got tangled underneath. Oh, this is a nice fish too. I just don't want him to take off screaming and
Lose your flatfish.
lose my flatfish. Exactly. This is a nice fish. Game on. This fish is mine now. Whoa, look at it jump! That thing just jumped about 2 feet in the air. It's gonna jump, it's gonna jump, it's gonna jump, it's gonna jump. This thing's got some pep to them. I'm telling you, these things are incredible. You see that? It's right here, right below our feet. This is a long fish. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, this is awesome. You never know when they're gonna hit, and when they hit, it's just like serious head rush. And then when your reel's all tangled up, then you get that feeling of panic over you. This thing's big. He's out there just screaming. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, did you see that tail walk? There's my line again. I gotta tighten up my drag, I think is what I need to do. See if we can get him down in this slower water here. He just doesn't want to move. This is another awesome fish.
Good fish.
Yes, it is. It's got some color to him. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this one just demolished my hooks. Boy, he's colorful. Let's take a look at him. Look at that fish. That is a nice steelhead right there. Hey, thanks for joining us today. Jeremy and I are out doing a little steelhead fishing, hardware style. Hard tackle is what we're using today, and this is a beautiful male steelhead. Well, let's get him back in the water. Oh. He obviously wants to get back in the water, so let's let him go. That is a nice fish right there. Well, there's plenty of water out there to fish, and there's a lot more fish to find, so let's get back at her.
All right, enough's enough. Seeing Jason catch all these steelhead is just killing me. I'm ready to trade in the camera for my fly rod. Instead of working the flatfish, I'm gonna try my luck with a few flies.
Fish on.
Yeah! You gonna do it again? The whole time I've been here, I knew there was a fish laying there. I just couldn't get my float exactly where I wanted it to go. Oh, he's peeling. Oh, he's pumping. Oh, oh, look at that. Oh, sweet. Oh, man. I think he's tired now. That was incredible. That fish, when I hooked that fish, it come out of the water 3 or 4 times before Jason could even hit start. I thought that fish was gonna come right up into my legs there for a second. Big tail walked right at us. Man, that was awesome. I haven't had a jumper in a while. That was cool. get this thing unhooked for you and we'll take a look. Well, that fly is toast. This steelhead, if it doesn't stay in here this winter, it'll come back this spring and it'll lay a bunch of eggs. This is a nice female. Just hold her here for you guys. Let her get her bearings. Man, she put up an awesome fight. That was so cool. I knew it was gonna happen. There she goes. I knew it was sitting there too, and I just, like I said, I just couldn't get my float in that spot. And finally, I mean, I could feel it. It was drifting, 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 and I'm like, okay, that's the spot, that's the spot, that's the spot. And the float just went whew, like that, and it was like, yes! That thing comes sailing out of the water. Man, that's awesome. When you get a steelhead and it's airborne, you're hooked. You're hooked for life. It's an addiction.
Thanks for joining the show today. Jeremy and I had a tough time deciding whether or not we were going to go duck hunting or steelhead fishing. Wait a second. Keep it going. Thanks for joining the show today. Jeremy and I had a tough time deciding what last... Thanks for joining the show today. Jeremy and I had a tough time last night deciding whether or not we were going to go duck hunting or steelhead fishing. It was a tough decision, but we found ourselves down here on the river and it looks awesome.